Here we have the May-June WASSCE 2024 Elective Mathematics Paper 2. Question number 9. If f of x equal 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus px plus q such that the integral of 0 to 2 of f of x dx is equal to 6, and from negative 1 to 1 of f of x dx is negative 2. We are to find the value of p and q and the values of f prime of negative 2. So the function f of x is 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus px plus q. So when we integrate this, integral of f of x dx equals 6, implies that we are integrating 2x squared. So from 0 to 6, from 0 to 6, and from 0 to 2. 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus px plus q dx is equal to 6. So when we integrate this, we are adding 1 to the exponent, which is 2x cubed. Then we are dividing by the result of the exponent. Then we have plus 3x exponent 4 all over 4 plus px squared all over 2 plus qx plus c is equal to 6. Since we are doing definite integral, we can ignore the c. This is supposed to give us 6. So let's fix in the values. When we fix in 2, we obtain 2 times 2 cubed over 3, then plus 3 times 2 exponent 4 over 4, then plus b times 2 exponent 2 over 2 plus q times 2 minus, so we fix in 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. You see that will give us 0. So minus 0 is equal to 6. So this will give us 16 over 3 plus 48 over 4 plus 2p plus 2q is equal to 6. So we are going to obtain 2p plus 2q is equal to 6 minus 52 over 3. And this will give us 2p plus 2q is equal to negative 34 over 3. Or in other words, we have 6p plus 6q is equal to negative 34. So we can call this equation 1. Now let's do the second integral. We have equation 1. Let's do the second integral. So with the second integral, we are getting integral of negative 1 to 1 of what we already integrated, which is x2x squared plus 3x cubed plus px plus q dx is equal to this time negative 2. So when we integrate this, we are obtaining 2x cubed over 3 plus 3x exponent 4 over 4 plus px squared over 2 plus qx is equal to -2. So this is from -1 to 1. So when we fix in 1, we are going to get 2 times 1 cube over 3 plus 3 times 1 cube 1 exponent 4 over 4 plus p times 1 squared over 2 plus q times 1 is equal to, okay, minus, when we fix in -1, which is 2 times -1 cube over 3 plus 3 times -1 exponent 4 over 4. Then we have plus p times -1 squared over 2 plus q times -1. And all this should give us -2. Alright, so let's simplify this. This will give us 2 over 3 here plus 3 over 4 plus p over 2 plus q minus. So this will give us -2 over 3 here. Then we are obtaining plus 3 over 4. Then we are obtaining plus p over 2. Then minus q is equal to -2. So this will simplify to 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4 plus p over 2 plus q minus, we have minus -2 over 3, so plus 2 over 3, then minus 3 over 4, then minus p over 2, then we are going to get plus q is equal to -2. So you can realize that this and this will go, this and this will also go. Then we have 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3, then q plus q. So we get 2q plus 4 over 3 is equal to -2. So 2q will be equal to 4 over 3 minus 2 minus 4 over 3. And that will give us 2q to be equal to, this will give us -10 over 3. And when we divide through by 2, we are going to get q to be equal to -5 over 3. So if q is -5 over 3, we can put it into the first equation. 6p plus 6q is equal to -34. So this will give us 6 times p plus 6 times -5 over 3 is equal to -34. So this will go here 2 times. So we have 6p minus 10 is equal to -34. So 6p will be equal to -34 plus 10, which is -24. So dividing both sides by 6, we get p equal -4. So if p is -4 and q is -5 over 3, then the function f of x becomes f of x is equal to, so we found p and q already. So f of x will now become 2x squared plus 3x cubed minus 4x minus 5 over 3. Now f prime of x will be equal to 4x squared plus 9x, 4x exponent 1 plus 9x squared minus 4. So f prime of 2 will be equal to, f prime of -2 will be equal to 4 times negative 2 plus 9 times negative 2 squared minus 4. And this will give us negative 8 minus negative 8 plus 9 times 4, which is 36, minus 4. So that will give us 36 minus 12, which is equal to 24. 9 combination n is to 8 combination n minus 2 is equal to 9 is to 4. Find the value of n. So we begin. We recall the formula for the factorial notation. Then we also recall the combination formula. Now, what you're going to do is to apply these definitions to the equation. So 9 combination n will be equal to 9 factorial over 9 minus n factorial n factorial. Then also 8 combination n minus 2 will be 8 factorial over 8 minus n minus 2 factorial n minus 2 factorial is equal to 9 is to 4. Then what we're going to do next is to simplify. So you recall that the is to sign here, the ratio here implies division. So we continue. So this will simplify to give us 10 minus n factorial, n minus 2 factorial times 9 factorial in the numerator, then 9 minus n factorial, n factorial, then 8 factorial in the denominator. So we have to continue to simplify further. So we apply the definition of factorial again. So 10 minus n factorial, we can get 10 minus n, then we have 10 minus n minus 1, which will give us 9 minus n factorial over here. So we are working towards something that will cancel what is here. Then we also have to work toward something that will cancel what is here. And we work toward it from here. So we'll get n. So n times n minus 1 until we get n minus 2 factorial here, which can cancel what is here. Then we also have the 9 times 8 factorial, so that the 8 factorial will cancel the 8 factorial here. Then we can go on to simplify further. So we have 9 minus n factorial, 9 minus n factorial. So this is what we will be left with when we cancel out. So this will simplify to 10 minus n times 4. So this will multiply this, and this also multiply this, the one here. We can expand to get n squared minus n, then 40 minus 4n. And this will give us n squared minus n plus 4n minus 40 equals 0. So we obtain a quadratic equation, which we can simplify further to get n squared plus 3n minus 40 equals 0. So we simplify further to get what is here. We have this quadratic equation that we can simplify further. So we have n squared plus 3n minus 40. We can factor it to obtain n minus 5, n plus 8. Because when we expand this, we are going to get what is here. So n will either be equal to 5, or n will be equal to negative 8. And since we are dealing with factorial, we are looking for the positive, which is n is equal to 5. So we can simplify this, but we can check our results. We know 9 combination 5 divided by 8 combination 3. That will be equal to 126 divided by 56. And this will simplify to 9 over 4. Now let's look at the B part of the question. We have to resolve 3x squared minus 7 over x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x into partial fractions. So we need to set up the partial fraction. So we have something like this. 3x squared minus 7 over this. Now we need to deal with the denominator here. So we factor x to get x squared plus 2x minus 8. Then we need to factor x squared plus 2x minus 8. Two numbers that when you multiply you get negative 8. When you add you get 2, negative 2 and 4. So that is what we use to factor it. So we can set up the equation that like this. So we have 3x squared minus 7 over x into x minus 3, x plus 4 equal a over x, then b over x minus 2, c over x plus 4. So we need to find the LCM here, which is the product of all of them. That's the LCM. Then x goes into the LCM. We are left with x minus 2 and x plus 4. We use that to multiply the a here, and that will give us what is here. Then again, x minus 2 will go into the LCM. We're left with x times x plus 4. And that will multiply the b to get what is here. Then again, x plus 4 will go into the LCM. We are left with x and x plus x minus 2. That will times the c, and that will give us what is here. So, since the denominator is the same now, we can equate the exponents. So this implies that 3x squared minus 7 is equal to what is here, which is what is here. So we need to choose values. When x equal, we need to choose value that will make render some part of the equation 0, so that we can solve for the values a and b and c. So when x equals 0, we plug in 0 here, we get 0 minus 7, which will give us negative 7. When you plug in 0 here and here, everything will be 0. So you're left with this place. Negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8a. Because this will be 0, this will be 0. So we solve for a to get a to be negative 7 over negative 8, which will simplify to positive 7 over 8. Then again, we substitute x equal 2, so that we can render this and this 0. So we can deal with this and this. So we are going to get 3 times 2 squared, which is what you are seeing here, minus 7. And that will give us 12 minus 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. So we have 5 is equal to 2 times 6. So when you put 2 here, you get 6. Then we put 2 here again. So 2 times 6 will give us the 12 over here. Dividing through by 12, you get 5 over 12 for b. Then when x equal negative 4, we're going to get 3 times negative 4 squared minus what is here. And that will also simplify to give us 41 over 24. So we have our partial fraction to be in the form 7a over x, this thing here, 7a over 8x, 7a over 8x, so it is 7a over 8x, then plus 5 over 12 to bracket x minus 2, plus 41 over 24 into bracket x plus 4. So that is the partial fraction resolution of the given fraction. We have question number 12 here. Before we begin, please kindly share this video with your colleagues for me so that they can also have access to it. Thank you very much for sharing. There are 5 possible answers for each question in a multiple choice examination containing 12 questions. If a candidate answers the questions randomly, find the probability that the candidate gets no question right, 9 questions wrong, at least 1 question right, not more than 10 questions wrong. So we have the probability of one success or success on 1 being 1 over 5. So the failure will be 4 over 5. So we apply the binomial probability formula with n equal 12. So probability of no question will be 12 combination 0 times 1 over 5 exponent 0 times 4 over 5 exponent 0. And that will give us 0.68719. To 4 decimal places, that will be equal to 0.0687. With the B part, 9 questions wrong. So this times our P will be 4 over 5, because the probability of getting a wrong question is 4 over 5, and the failure will be 1 over 5. So we plug in, and that will give us 12 combination 9, 4 over 5 exponent 9, and 1 over 5 exponent 3. So this will evaluate to 0.236223, which is correct to 4 decimal places, 0.2362. Then we have at least 1 question right. At least 1 question right means that at least 1 question right also means 1 minus no question right. And that will give us 1 minus 0.068719 that we calculated already, which is going to give us 0.9312 or 0.9313 to 4 decimal places. Now to the D part, not more than 10 questions right. So not more than 10 questions right means that we are going to subtract more than 10 from 1. So when we evaluate this, we get 1 minus 0.274877, and this will be equal to 0.2751. Another alternative is for you to add from x equals 0, x equal 1, up to x equal 10. So we can summarize it like this using the large operator. So from x equals 0 to 10, and when we evaluate this, it will give us 0.725122 or 0.7251. We are still solving the WASSCE 2024 elective mathematics paper written by a student from Nigeria. This is question number 11. Before we begin, please kindly share this video for me. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. The matrices of the linear transformation P and Q are given by P 1, 3, 2, 3 and Q 2, negative 5, 1, negative 2 respectively. Find the image of negative 2, 3 under the transformation P followed by Q. Then the B part says the values of the constant M and N such that PQ is equal to 3 times this matrix minus this matrix. So for the A part, we were told that negative 2 was transformed in under P followed by Q. And we got a result x prime, y prime. So we are looking for the x prime, y prime. Now when we transform these points under P, this is what will happen. We will get P, which is 1, 3, 2, 3, -2, 3. And we have to multiply this matrix. Recall that we multiply the row by the column, row by column. So 1 times -2 will give us -2. 3 times 9 will give us 9. 3 times 3 will give us 9. 2 times -2 will be -4. 3 times 3 will give us 9. When we simplify this, we will obtain 7, 5. So we have to again transform this under Q. So we have the Q 2, -5, 1, -2. Again, we have two matrices, 2 by 2 matrix multiplying 2 by 1 matrix. We are going to get 2 by 1 result as we had here. So 7, again, row by column. So 2 times 14, 2 times 7 will be 14. The -5 times 5 will be 25. So plus -25, that will be -25. Then 1 times 7 is 7. Then we have -2 times 5 minus. So in actual fact, we are adding -25 and we are adding -10. And we know negative and positive meet, the negative overshadow the positive. So this will be 14 minus 25 will give us -11. And this will be -3. What do we do next? So it means that when we transform this point -2, 3 under the transformation P followed by Q, the result is -11, -3. So you write it back as a point. So this will give us this is the image of this. Then let's look at the B part of the question. We want to find the values of the constant m and n such that matrix P times Q. So this is matrix P, which is 1, 3, 2, then 3 times Q, which is 2, -5, 1, -2, is equal to 3. So we multiply this by this, we get 3m plus 9. Multiply this. This is a scalar multiplying a matrix -12. 3 times 1 will give you 3. 3 times 2 will give us 6. Minus. So we have n -1, -4, 9m minus 5. So we have to multiply the matrix here. Remember, row by column. So this row will take this column. After that, it will take the second column, which is this one. So let's go. Row by column. 1 times 3, 1 times 2 is 2. Then we have 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 5, 1 times -5, this is negative, is -5. Then we add it to 3 times -2, which is -6. Row by column, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. Then we have 2 times -5, -10, 3 times -2, -6. So this will be equal to, we have subtraction of matrices here. So we subtract the corresponding entries, corresponding element. 3m plus 9 minus n. So we have 3m plus 9 minus n, negative 12 minus 1, negative 12 minus negative 1. So that will give us negative 11. Then we have 3 minus negative 4. That will give us 7. 6 minus 9m minus 5. So the next thing we do is to simplify. So we have 5, negative 11, 7, negative 16 being equal to 3m minus n plus 9, negative 11, 7, then 6 minus m plus 5. So 6 plus 5 will be 11 minus 9m. So equality of matrices will tell us that negative 16 will be equal to 11 minus 9m, and 5 will be equal to 3m minus. So this will be equal to this, and this will be equal to this. So let's form this simultaneous equation and solve for m and n. So we have 5 or 3m minus n plus 9 being equal to 5, and this will give us 3m minus n will be equal to 5 minus 9. That will be negative 4. This is equation 1. Then we also have 11 minus 9m equal 7. In other words, we have negative 9m equals 7 minus 11 is negative 7 minus 11. So it's not 7, this is negative 16. Negative 16, yeah. So that will give us negative 16 minus 11. So negative 9m will be equal to negative 27. So dividing through by negative 9, m will be equal to negative 27 over negative 9, which is equal to 3. So we can put 3 here into the equation 1 to get 3 times m, which is 3, minus n is equal to negative 4. So we have 9 minus n equal negative 4. So we have 9 plus 4 equal positive n. Therefore, 13 is equal to n. Hence, we have m equal 3 and n equal 13. Thank you for watching. Please kindly subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to share this video with your friends so that they can find it. This is statistics and probability section. Question number 13. The data represents the ordered age in years of some pupils in a school. Given that the lower quartile age is 7 years and upper quartile age is 11 years, find the values of m and n. So the data set, we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data set. So the mean will be the number, the sixth number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So the median, not the mean. This will be the median. This will be the median. 4m plus 1 is the median. So the lower quartile is the median of the lower values here, lower data set here. So the median now divides the data set into two halves, the upper half, which is this one, and the lower half, which is this one. So the median of the lower half is what we call the lower quartile. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, we have 1, 2. So the median of the lower half is the lower quartile, which is 2m plus n. So 2m plus n is equal to 7, according to the question. Then the upper quartile is the median of the upper half. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So the median is this one here, which is m plus 3n, m plus 3n. And according to the question, is equal to 11. Is equal to 11. So we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2 to solve for m and n. So let's solve that. Let me make m the subject in equation 2. So m will be equal to 11 minus 3n. So I can call this equation 3. I can put equation 3 in equation 1. So I'm going to get 2m, 2 into bracket 11 minus 3n plus n is equal to 7. So 2 times 11 is 22. 2 times negative 3n is negative 6n plus n is equal to 7. So negative 6 plus n will be negative 5n is equal to 7 minus 22. That will be 15. Is it 15? 7 minus 22 is negative 15. So the variables are by negative 5, negative 5. Therefore, n will go here, negative 5 will go here 3 times. Therefore, the value of n is 3. If the value of n is 3, then m will be equal to 11 minus 3 times 3, which will be 11 minus 9, and that will give us 2. Therefore, m is 2 and n is 3. So the B part of the question says we should find the variance correct to one decimal place. So to find the variance, we must first of all find the mean. To calculate the variance, we must first calculate the mean. So we know the mean of all these numbers. So we have to fix the values m and n inside here. So when you put m equal 2 here, you are going to get 7. When you put, then the second one is 7. The third one will also be 7. Then we have 8. From 8, the next one will be 8 again, because 2n plus m will give us 8. Then 4m plus 1 will give us 9. Then we have 9. Then we have 10. Then we are going to get 11. M plus 3n, which is 2 plus 9. Then we are going to get 12 and 12. So the mean age will be equal to the sum of all these numbers, 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 12, all over 11. And this will give us 100 over 11. So that is the mean age. You can simplify it further. Then you can simplify it. You get 9 whole number, because 9 times 11 is 99. 9 whole number 1 over 11. Now they didn't ask us to round, so we can leave it like this. Then let's look at the variance. To calculate the variance, we need to subtract the mean from all these values. Then we square the results. Then we sum everything and we divide by n, which is 11. So you can do that in a table form like this. We subtract the mean from 7, that will give us negative 23 over 11. The mean from 8, that will give us negative 12 over 11. The mean from 9, the mean from 10, the mean from 12. Then we add all, we square it and add all to get 406 over 11. So the variance will be equal to summation of the deviation squared over n, and that will be equal to 406 over 11 all over 11. So that will be equal to 406 over 11 times 1 over 11, because this one is like division. So the reciprocal is 11 over 1. So you multiply by the reciprocal to get 1 over 11. And that will give us 406 over 121, which is equal to 3.3554. So to one decimal place, we get 3.4. So that is the variance. The variance. Thank you for joining us to solve this question. Please don't forget to share this video with your colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. A car starts from rest and accelerates at 1 meters per second squared for 10 seconds. It then continues at a uniform speed for another 20 seconds and decelerates to rest in 5 seconds. Find the total distance traveled. Find the distance traveled. The distance traveled is the area under the distance time graph, the velocity time graph. The area is the area of a trapezium. The trapezium you are seeing over here. So we need to find the parallel sides and add them. We know area of a trapezium is going to give us the distance, which is 1 over 2 times height, vertical height, times sum of the bases. Alright, so how do we get the height? We can get the height from this first phase of the journey. It took 10 seconds in the first phase, so t is equal to 10 here. Acceleration was 1 meters per second squared. Initial velocity was 0 meters per second. Final velocity, we don't know. We can use the equation of linear motion, v equal u plus at, to find the final velocity v. So v will be equal to 0 u plus at 1 times 10. V equal 10 meters per second. So the final velocity here is 10 meters per second. So velocity time graph. So it tells us that the height of the trapezium is 10. We're also told that we were also given the time that the travel was uniform speed. That was for 20 seconds. So this will be 20 seconds here. Then from there, it traveled for 5 seconds. So from this distance to this distance, that will be 10 plus 20 plus 5, which is 35 seconds. So S will be equal to 1 over 2 times 10, which is the height, times 35 time plus from this distance to this distance is 20 plus 20 seconds. So this will be equal to 5 times 55, which is 275 meters. That is the A part of the question. The average speed is given by total distance traveled over total time taken. So average speed, so B part, average speed is total distance over total time taken. Total distance was 275 meters over total time 35 seconds. And that will give us 7.86 meters per second. We now have to calculate the time taken to cover half of the distance. So the total distance was 875. Half of the distance will be equal to 275 over 2. And that is equal to 137.5 meters. So we saw that We saw that 10 seconds was taken in the first phase of the journey. Now let's say that the additional time that is needed, T, for it to get to the half of the distance, 135.5 meters, 137.5 meters is T. Then we know also that the height of the trapezium was 10. So the area of this half distance will also give us this over here. So this is a trapezium. What you are seeing here is another trapezium. Another trapezium. So you find the area of this trapezium. This will be T. This will be 10 seconds. And this will be T seconds. So we are going to form an equation. So the C area of trapezium is given by half, which is 137.5 meters, is equal to 1 over 2 times the height of the trapezium, which is 10, into the sum of the bases T plus T plus 10. So we have to solve this equation for T. Then we add it to 10 seconds to find the time taken to cover half the distance. So let's solve this. We are going to get 137.5 is equal to 5 into 2t plus 10. So 10t will be 10t plus 50 will be equal to 137.5. So 137.5 minus 50, which is 87.5, will be equal to 10t. Dividing through by 10, you get t to be 8.75 seconds. So the time taken to cover half the journey is 10 plus t, which is 18.75 seconds. So the time taken to cover half of the journey is t plus 10, which is equal to 18.75 seconds. So that is the C part. Question number 15 on vectors and mechanics. Forces F1 10 Newton 120 degrees, F2 12 Newton 210 degrees, and F3 15 Newton 60 degrees act on a body. Calculate the magnitude of the resultant force, the direction of the resultant force, the force that will keep the body in equilibrium. So you can share this video. I would like you to share the video with your colleagues. Thank you for doing that. Now let's solve this question. So the resultant force, to find the resultant force, we add F1, F2, and F3. So we know F1 is given by 10 Newton 120 degrees. That's the direction and magnitude. So we have to convert it to the column vector form. So we resolve each of these vectors using the formula sine theta, magnitude of the force times sine theta. Then we have magnitude of the force times cos theta. So that is what we are using to resolve the forces. So we will get R to be equal to 10 sine 120 degrees. Then we have 10 cos 120 degrees. Then we add it to 12 sine 210 degrees. Then we have 12 cos 210 degrees. Then we have 15 sine 60 degrees. Then we have 15 cos 60 degrees. So we have finished resolving the forces. We have to simplify this. So the resultant force will be equal to 5 root 3, that is sine 120, then negative 3 cos 120. We add it to 12 sine 210, which is negative 6. Then 12 cos 210 is negative 6 root 3. Then we add it to 15 sine 60, which is 15 root 3 over 2. And then 15 cos 60 is 15 over 2. So when we add all of these things, we add this to this to this, we are getting 25 root 3 over 2 minus 6. Then we have 5 over 2 minus 6 root 3. 5 over 2 minus 6 root 3. When we write it in decimal form, we will get 15.65. 15.65. Then we have negative 7.89. So that is the resultant force. So we have to find the magnitude of the resultant force. So the magnitude of the resultant force is given by R. R magnitude is equal to square root of 15.65 squared. We add it to negative 7.89 squared. So this will give us square root of 307.1746. And that will give us 17.526. So this is equal to 17.53 newtons. So that is the magnitude of the resultant force. Then we want to find the direction of the resultant force. So to find the direction of the resultant force, we can quickly sketch the resultant vector. So the resultant vector R, this is the x-axis and the y-axis. So it will be somewhere around here because this is negative 7.89. Then over here we have 15.65. So this angle here is alpha. So we know that tan alpha will be equal to 90. So this angle is 90. So 90, okay, tan alpha will be equal to opposite, which is 7.89 over 15.65. So when we find tan inverse of this, tan inverse of 7.89, we can use the full value 7.8923, 2305, 892305, then 15.650635. So 15.650635, and that will give us 26.760904. So the direction of the resultant vector will be from here plus this one. So the direction of the resultant will be equal to 90 plus 26.76. That will give us 116.76 degrees. So the force that will keep the body in equilibrium has to be added to the resultant force plus the equilibrium force will be equal to 0, the zero vector. So the resultant force was, let's say, we have 15.65, then negative 7.89, plus the force that will keep the body in equilibrium and should give us the zero force. So we have F that will keep the body in equilibrium is equal to 0 minus 15.65, then negative 7.89. So that force will be equal to negative 15.65, then 7.89. This force will have the same magnitude as the resultant, which will be 17.53, but the direction will be, now this one is negative, the x is negative, and the y is positive, so it will be in the third quadrant. So we have 26 plus this is 90, this is 80, 270. So that will be 296, 296, 296. So 296.76, 296.76 degrees. So that will be the force that will keep the body in equilibrium.